So today I want to tell you how you can avoid getting into a bidding war. If you've looked into our market, you know how crazy it is out there, and everyone wants to avoid bidding wars like a plague. Of course, I did a couple of videos on how to win a bidding war and things you can do to get your offer accepted. So check them out below in the description. They'll also be at the end if you want to check those out, because sometimes that right home, you just can't avoid a bidding war. But here are a couple of things that you can do that will help you out. Number one, all right, have an agent look for you. So as agents, we have clients all over. We have several clients that have off-market properties that they are possibly thinking about selling. They're just not on the market yet. What we call pocket listings and off-market things. We can get you in those, and if it's not on the market, there's not going to be a bidding war, so that can help out. Also, we can keep an eye out for coming soon listings. So in our MLS, there's a rule: if it's a coming soon, it can only be listed in MLS. It doesn't go out there to Zillow and all these other things. So if we know what you're looking for and we're working for you, then we can keep our eye out and make sure we tell you about anything that's going to come up that could fit your needs, so that you can get in there, be the very first one, get your offer, check, get everything that we can done. So those are a couple of different ways. Of course, whenever I have clients that have committed to me and I'm their buying agent, like I'm doing everything, putting on the boxing gloves, getting ready to get them what they want and get their home. So that's the very first tip that I would first give you guys. Number two, look for a fixer-upper. So in today's market and nowadays, people want something 100% move-in ready to go, not have to fix anything up. But if you are looking for something that's a fixer-upper, you're going to be more likely to find it without it getting into a crazy bidding war. Now, there are some that are fixer-uppers that are still getting in these crazy bidding wars, but it's just kind of a general rule of thumb. And I don't even mean that it has to be crazy with like walls caving in and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes it could just be as simple as, you know, the carpet is a little stained and needs replacing, or there's paneling on the walls that you could easily paint, do some things like that, like a quick update. Maybe the kitchen needs a little bit of remodeling and stuff like that. There's just a couple of things that a lot of people do not have a creative eye for, but you could come in here, get this thing, and take it off the market. Just within the last month, I was able to find my client a fixer-upper, and she was able to instantly get $14,000 in equity, which is unheard of in this market. Like, you're typically going right to the appraisal, sometimes paying more than the appraisals. But this home needed some work. It had really good bones and it had some really good structures and tons of potential, but it was just missing that wow factor. So she's gonna come in, put some money into it, and turn it into an absolute dream. And we were able to get it without doing any kind of bidding wars. Win-win for all of us. The number three thing, days on the market. So if you guys are looking at a home that just hit the market, chances are you're going to get into some kind of bidding war, and they're not going to accept any kind of negotiation. Now, if you guys will remember, even a year ago, obviously longer than a year ago, but even up as far as a year ago, we could get some negotiation going on. They would come in and that list price would be $250. Bet I'm going to get it for way cheaper than that. And we negotiated and go back and forth, even if it was day one on the market. Nowadays, if it's day one, they're most of the time not even accepting anything for a couple of days to get everybody in there, and then you're getting in these bidding wars and it's going for way above where it should. So if you will find some that have been on the market, my general rule of thumb is at least a week. I really prefer 2 weeks or more. But once you find those, typically there are no bidding wars going on those, and you even have room for negotiation, especially if it is if it's been sitting there for at least a month. Then that's whenever I can really get in there and negotiate, get you some deals, get you some closing costs thrown in there, get you some extra things that you wouldn't typically get if it had been on the market, you know, for a day to a week or less. Number four, bad online photos. We know in today's market, everyone uses the internet to shop, find what they need. You know, we have Amazon Prime, we have all this kind of stuff that can get you what you want within the touch of a finger. And it's the same thing with homes. Nowadays, people are just quickly jumping online, searching for houses, and that's kind of determining where they go, what they're looking at for the weekend. So if you find a home on there that doesn't have professional photos, and especially if those non-professional photos are terrible, they've just got a picture of the outside, or some of the pictures are turned sideways, or the pictures are really dark, any of those kinds of things, that means that home is getting less traffic than the home with professional photos and the good quality photos. Therefore, you're gonna have less of a chance of getting into a bidding war than with some of those higher quality ones. So even if you're kind of iffy about it with the photos, or you're kind of wondering, it's worth a shot to get out there and look, because that could be your ticket to avoid a bidding war and snatch this picture or snatch this home just because they didn't take the time to get really good pictures. That's just a way you could get in and take advantage of that. And then 5, my final step, broaden your criteria. So if you are looking for 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage on 3 acres, and every one of those is outside of your price range, or once they get into the bidding war, it's just getting way too high, let's see which of those we can come down on. We may not can budge on the bedrooms and the bathrooms, but maybe the garage we could do with a carport or a 1-car garage, or maybe the acreage, we could have just 1 acre as long as it was private and not quite as much. Even looking at cities. So I have a client right now who we have been looking for them in a very specific city, and this city is just insane with bidding wars. I mean, they are going $30,000 over easily, and it's just making all of the homes that meet his criteria, looks wise and cosmetically, out of his budget. So we're looking at expanding that search perimeter and just going a little bit further out of this city so that we can find him exactly what he wants at that price range. Because we're gonna work for you, we're gonna do everything that we can to find you that right home, but sometimes we do have to make adjustments so that we can hit those marks and do what we need to do. Like I said earlier, if you are still out there and you're struggling and the homes you want are still getting in bidding wars, check out these videos. This will give you some ideas on ways that you can beat the bidding wars, get your offer accepted, just a couple of things like that. I also have other videos out there if you do need to do some renovations on ways to do that cheaply and for the most money that you have. Guys, if you like this, please give me a thumbs up and let me know. Of course, subscribe to my channel.